In this video, we're going to talk about choosing your plan for Claude. If you are just starting out, you want to just kind of like set up the basics, play around with it, test it, then I would definitely recommend just starting out on the free plan. And then once you have a feel for using Claude and you're using it more regularly, you can always upgrade to the Pro plan, which is $20 a month if you're paying monthly, or it works out to $17 a month if you're paying annually. This is, I think, where probably most business owners are on this plan, because you get access to different Claude models, also projects, memory, skills, and connectors, which we are going to be talking about later in this course. And then the difference between the Pro and the Max is how much usage you can get out of it. So if you are a very heavy user, then Max gives you 5 or 20 times the usage that Pro gives you. So you might need to use Max if you are either a very heavy user, or if you're working on some kind of project that is like maybe for a limited time, you need more usage. You can upgrade to Max like for a month or two, and then you could always downgrade later. But my recommendation for most people is to start with Pro or start with free just to get things set up, move up to Pro, use Claude consistently for a few weeks. And then if you're hitting your usage limits, then that's your signal to move on to Max. I've included links for 2 different pages that I recommend checking out if you need more help making a decision in this area. So one is the Claude pricing page. So this gives you a rundown of what you can use with each plan. The other thing worth pointing out is that free does not give you access to Claude Code or Claude Cowork. So if you are interested in using either of those applications, then you do have to pay for Pro. And then the other thing that I recommend looking at is if you scroll down on this page, I personally like seeing things in a grid like this with the check marks. So for example, like what I just mentioned, Claude Code and Cowork are available on any of the paid plans. The other thing that's worth noting is, I think it was down here. It was the models. So there are 2 models, Opus and Haiku, that are not available on the free plan, but they are available on any of the paid plans. The other thing to keep in mind is if you tend to use Claude during high traffic times, meaning when a lot of other people are online and using it, typically like weekday working hours, then if you are on one of the higher plans, then you get priority access and you won't have as many issues with it being slow. The other page that I recommend that you look at is this one. It's called Usage Limit Best Practices. So these are things that you can learn to do as you're using Claude on a daily basis that will help you conserve your usage as much as possible and be less likely to be hitting up those usage limits. I was unaware of a lot of these things before I started using Claude, or in the beginning, and then I was finding myself like running into usage limits and having Claude tell me that I need to come back in 3 hours to continue the project that I was working on. And that was very frustrating. But then once I learned what are the things that kind of suck up your usage limits versus conserve them, that was very helpful to know. And so now I don't run into those usage limits nearly as much. So go ahead, choose your plan. Remember, you can always upgrade or downgrade later, and then move on to the next lesson where we're going to be getting oriented in the Claude chat interface.